I think I've started too. I need a tampoon.
Right on the set.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. In no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to Lunch with Laz and Jack, and today we are joined by...
None other than Casey Cupcakes.
Casey Cupcakes.
Yes.
How you doing today, guys? The crafty method just... What was he? He must have had to get here early. Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
I gotta love this guy.
I did not expect that one until he said...
I did not know he was even in there, to tell you the truth.
Describe it for those on the radio.
Yeah. Okay, so crafty method. If right after we did the intro, you see an "oh no." I thought it was this guy in front of us, and the text was just a little off center because I have names turned off.
Uh-huh.
And then the outhouse door swings open, and Crafty Method comes out doing the "oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
So Crafty Method has dropped the kids off at the pool. They are swimming. So that is pretty funny. And today, so we do have Crafty Method with us, as well as in front of us is Paul Lopez, new guy. I do not know who he is.
Welcome all our regular irregulars to the channel, of course. I see Luca out there, of course, Crafty Method, a Kush lady.
Yes, and dreadfully despised.
For the record, let's get it on the record today. Today is March 11th, 2016, Friday here in Shroud Avatar. We got the weekend update coming up, weekend calendar. All sorts of tasty little tidbits and stuff to chat about today. The plague hitting the office as it may be this past week down at Portalarium. All sorts of interesting things for y'all out there today. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We do appreciate it here. So, man, that was funny. I had no idea he was in there. You know, we're going to have to start checking the restrooms before shows now. That's just too much. But, of course, we love the potty humor as it is. These outhouses have been well worth their purchase price just for the jokes we get here on the show. Oh, we got Led Zepp out there joining us today.
You have to teach Crafty Method the /EM so he can come up with funny emotes for us.
Uh-huh.
Yes. If you want to craft your own emotes and you want the text to come out as emotes, you just do the /EM and then whatever you want.
Now, the mighty Ewok put a cute little picture into chat here today. Looks like a little Mamie of
Jay and Silent
Bob. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. For those of you who are not watching us but listening on the radio, you can also get the Discord app on your phone, on your mobile device. Come in and join us. Anybody listening, watching, want to sit down at a computer, use your mobile device, come chat with us, tell us about your day, talk about what's going on. Come join us. Go to NBNN.info, click on the link for the Discord app, come chat with us.
And the app is free and easy to use on your phone.
Yes, it is. Casey's actually using it as he segues from the car to the house. Is that correct right now? Is that what you're in the process of doing?
Correct. I'm waiting for it to fire up.
Love this shit, I tell you. Yes, Luca, we are on Discord. If you go to nbnn.info, we have moved the TeamSpeak app down below that. We use that as a backup and, of course, for several other things. But we found Discord. It's the latest, greatest craze out there. It's free, which we like free. Seems to work pretty functional, and the sharing aspect of it is 1,000 times better than anything else. You know, when Mighty Ewok put the picture in here, everybody gets to see the picture. They don't have to click the links. They don't have to do nothing. It just shows up. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so you might as well display that on the screen as well, so that way you can see that what the Discord app looks like, and then from there it's really easy to just click on connect, and then it will ask you for the name that you want to use.
Now, one of the things I like that we do here is, you know, if you'll see, there's some links here. As we come across links and stuff that we want to share, that's a picture of Led Zepp getting ready for bedtime. Yeah, we're not going to go there. You know, we share all sorts of real good information, and you don't have to be logged in. When you come back, the links are there, and you know, everybody can catch up on what they missed while they were gone. Pretty cool stuff. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying
Getting ready for bed. Is he cuddling with his Laz and Jack plush dolls?
He's cuddling with his little blow-up orca whale, and he is appropriately dressed in a full-body suit that looks like an awful orca whale.
That picture is just too damn funny.
Yes.
I mean, I was dying laughing when I saw it. I was going to make all kinds of inappropriate jokes, but I haven't about it. So, well, we should pass for now.
Led Zepp's not here in the room. He was actually testing the other day, so he should be able to get in here if he wants to get in here and defend himself. If not, we still make fun of him just because he posted it. But we love you, Led Zepp. You know that.
Even if you don't like to talk.
Yeah, he likes to talk. He just says he doesn't.
Just not on the air.
Yeah. If we tell him he's not on the air, we can't shut him up.
So what do you have going on today?
Oh, it's News Day, of course. It's Friday here in Shroud Avatar. We got about 2.5 more weeks before the next release coming out. Everybody's been sick, so we've got some stand-up corner catching up to do today. And we were just discussing that. I think we should just jog right over all of it so everybody gets a gist and gets in on the joke and all that good stuff. Of course, to see how it was affecting the offices, Tuesday's stand-up is a really good indicator of how hard they were hit by the flu down there, that flu bug.
Yep. I've got it up on the on screen right now, where Rick Holtrop, or aka Chaox, is sitting there saying, "A plague unlike most seen in times past has beset itself upon our offices, and the effects have been dire. We are missing many that we hope will return someday. We keep watch vigilantly."
And that was just too cute.
There's Luca. Yes.
Hey, Luca. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Well, she's not in the right channel. There. Now Luca's in the right channel.
Now Luca's with us. Yes,
so on Tuesday, March 8th, yeah. If you notice, we're just going to look at as a comparison. It's like the production management and other group normally has 6 people. On Tuesday it had 2.
Yes.
And Luca, I think, closed the window.
She'll figure it out. No problem.
Yeah. But let's see. Anything interesting? Capes. I'm looking forward to new capes. I'm looking for actual capes. I would also like to see robes make their way into the game properly.
Would love to see robes finally make their way in the game, and not that elven robe thing.
I want to see more cupcakes on that list.
Oh, we want to see cupcakes, absolutely.
Well, first I need my roll the dice emote.
Yeah, well, you're going to be waiting a little while for that one, I think.
I requested the whole dog with worms on the carpet emote, but we'll see.
Yeah. So let's see. Then let's see. What other kinds of things do we actually have to deal with? Let's see. Anything interesting from Tuesday that you want to talk about?
Tuesday, two-way friends was one of the big ones that we're waiting on. is under tech. We're waiting on that. We'll see what they got to say about that over the next day or two there, but that's one we want to keep an eye on. That's going to directly affect how you travel about the world, how you get to and from places, etc.
With teleport scrolls,
Yes.
you have to have the two-way friends. I wonder if that's going to affect the Steam achievements as well, where you must be friends with Lord British and with Darkstar.
That may, but I'm going to take a wild leap out here on this one. I was giving this some thought just the other day, and there's been a lot of speculation about this. And of course, we joke about it and we go, "Oh well, you got a second account, buy one on sale, whatever, blah blah." You have a zone point, but I'm gonna guess, and I do not have any confirmation on this. This is pure speculation on my part, that they're gonna make us confirm every single time you want to do that. And I think the reason behind this is my thinking, is that so people can, can't just, okay, people know I sit here in Owl's Head all day, every day. So to stop people from just automatically zoning to me without confirmation, they're going to make people ask, can I zone to you? And the other player is going to have to confirm every time, I think. Now, again, this is speculation on my part. I'm going to be interesting to watch exactly what happens with it, though.
Okay, now we have Luca in channel. I actually kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I think accepting someone teleporting to you isn't really that big of a deal, especially if you know the person. The real question is, is it going to be something where you can check a box, or what happens if you have the no zone in it?
The no zone, we know right now, you disappear from the list. Even your friends can't see you in the way we have it functioning now. I'm going to assume they'll use some of the same functionality there, so that if you use the no zone, you're not available to anybody on the list for even be picked. You would guess. I mean, but again, that's just speculation.
Yeah.
Until we see more, I'm basing it on what we already see as a mechanic they've got functional here in game. So, but that's one I want us to keep an eye on, definitely. But that's the only real one that stands out from Tuesday. That
I was going to tell you that we have maybe a couple more towns, with Dan working on Bramble, and also Richard working on Skrek and Valhold. That's the first time. Yeah, that's the first time that we've seen Valhold come up, I think.
It is. Now, I actually was out exploring that part of the world, and it's pretty sparse up in that area. That's up in the upper northwest quadrant.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Are you saying it's over by Hearth?
It's by where?
Hearth.
Hearth?
Yeah, my town.
Is that where it is? I don't know. Anybody live out there?
Kind of.
Yeah. Things that make you go, Yeah, but
I haven't been out there in a while.
Traveling out there is not the easiest of routes. Even coming from where I am, Snug Harbor, Blood River area, you got to go up and around and down and jog. I'm hoping we may get some boats.
Well, one of these days, I'm going to actually introduce you to why control points are inherently bad, especially with their current iteration.
Well, we can dedicate a week's worth of shows to that. I mean, that's without saying.
And it's one that I want to discuss, where it's like, as far as like design issues go, with Portalarium saying that, if you want to not go through the control point, it should take you a substantially longer than going through a control point, and that's just false. So let's see. Let's go ahead and look at Wednesday's stand-up corner real quick. And remember, if anybody wants to step in and say anything, please do so. So this was the stand-up corner from Wednesday. Bob was working on Cobalt Homes and Props. Kevin was working on male avatar mesh tweaks and male avatar equipment. Matt was working on the male avatar rigging and skinning. And speaking of all the male avatar stuff, I'm glad that they're redoing the male avatars, which means that female avatars will be coming shortly.
We hope.
We hope. I would say that female avatars are inherently more complex than male avatars. Or I'm just making that up.
I think you're just making that up. I think it's easier to make. It doesn't really matter, to tell you the truth. I think they're both equally challenging, but that's just me.
Well, you do know how to tell the difference between real hair and a wig, right?
Enlighten me.
It bounces.
Okay, never mind.
Real hair bounces.
Never mind.
Okay, so Reed was working on Tower Player Homes, Collision, and Lighthouse Homes. Scotty was working on skill icons and user interface filigree in books and artifice. So the skill icons and the user interface stuff actually is really good. Hopefully that means that we'll eventually be able to drag our health bars out, and relocate them instead of being static. Yeah.
Been waiting a long time. I would have thought that honeymoon was over by now. As last we heard, he went on his honeymoon, and we haven't heard about it since then.
Yeah. So over in design, Dan was working on the makeshift Oracle and new scene pipeline. Finn was working on spectral minds and interactives and lighting visual effects. Gina was playing around with Xenos NPCs. Keith was playing around with Malice spawning. So that means that we're going to have the new metropolis of Xenos. Malice should be spawned. Richard was doing Skrek and the Skrek Castle. So hopefully Skrek will actually make it into the next release, and we'll have some more kobolds to play with. Scott Jennings was doing city NPCs and localization and dungeon dialogues. Sorceress Steve was working on Citral Brittany and map review. Over in tech, Eric was working on bed bugs and release 28 task. Wizard Smoke was working on bugs. And skill icons and user interface for finding other players.
Findro's tablet.
Yep. Burning Toad was working on build machine updates and bugs. And Team City upgrade. And then Taslow was working on the Player Town locking support and accounting and security. Zach Shepard was working on crafting bugs. And recipe book and batch crafting. Over in QA, James was working on regression. Michael was working on customer service and QA. Reese was working on sanity tests and localization support and forums. Production management and other. Chris Spears was working on new machine setup and server co-location plan and Jira work.
Co-location.
Dallas, co-location. Gorn, you can't call him Dallas anymore, have to call him Gorn. Finances work and update preparation. Hutch was working on character artist meeting and mountain player town template. Lord British was working on the office setup and Jira issue entry and review. Chaox was working on developer map updates and customer service and release 28 task review.
Now we see.
So,
Chris
any questions or comments?
New machine setup and stuff like that. New machine setup usually means a new employee. And I'm going to be looking for here in the next stand-up, which was yesterday.
Unless they got smart and they're switching to Macs.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, but it may be also that someone's computer died in the office. That does happen occasionally, and so they do have to rebuild machines. So Thursday, yesterday, over in the art department, Bob was working on Cobalt Row Homes and Cobalt Props. Fletcher was working on refitting male avatar equipment. Kevin was working on refitting male avatar equipment. Refitting. Refitting. So maybe today it's going to say refitting, or something else. Leo was working on auto recordings. Riri?
Fitting.
Riri.
Fitting.
Yeah. Leo is working on audio recordings of Armor and Archer and Bugs.
Bugs.
And then Matt was working on belly dancing
Dancing.
and Bugs. The belly dance is going to make it into the game. So Reed was working on the rustic player home collisions and tutor player home collisions.
Get your coconut bras ready for belly dancing.
Yay.
Yep. So the difference between the rustic player homes and the tutor player homes are the fun stuff. Scotty was working on release 28 tasks and coins and cobalt props and furniture. Not rustic dragon homes, and you should say that in here. Over in
speak up
design,
out there.
yeah. Then Dan was working on Ravensmore spawning and islands and harbors.
Nice.
Finn was working on lighting effects and performance optimizations and interactives. Gina's working customer service and NPCs. Keith was working on malice spawns and player town locking prep. Richard was working, or matey. We should call him Yar.
Yar.
Yar. Just for the matey part. Valhold planning and Scrack. And Sorcerer Steve was working on Central Brittany.
Yeah, Steve.
Oh.
I can't wait to see this, man.
Oh, Brittany's going to be friggin' awesome. Over in tech, Eric was working on the farmer AI and behaviors.
Nice.
Wizard Smoke was working on bugs.
Bug.
And polish. Burning Toad was working on the Team City upgrade and bugs.
Bug.
And Tesla is working on pledge data audit and database cleanup and security and accounting. I'm kind of curious what they mean by Team City upgrade.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Or is this going to be part of like the town PvP to where you choose a team and either NPCs and the invasions, things like that? That's going to get eventually done.
We'll have to keep an eye on it. We can usually glean some of the best info just by reading this every day. I mean, we know this, and this is why we do it every day. People go, where do you guys get all this great information? It's here for a reading.
Stand-up corner.
Yeah. They put it out there for us and allow us to talk about it and, get an idea of what's going on so we can follow the actual development day by day here.
Yeah, over in QA, James was working on sanity reports and regression and points of interest. Michael was working on customer service and backer support and account services and audio testing. Reese was working on sanity testing and localization and forums and customer service. Production management and other. Dippy Bird was working on performance and asset depot updates. Gorn was working on industry meetings and business meetings and board meetings and update of the avatar. Hutch was working on mountain player town biome and asset shader updates. Lord British was playtesting in Jira entry, and Chaos was doing release 28 tasks. And we do not have an update for today yet.
No. But that's okay. We got enough update there for today, that's for sure. A lot of good stuff up there. A lot of interesting stuff to see. Now, of course, we're looking forward to seeing places like Scrick. We're look forward to Malice being spawned nicely. We're looking forward to Valhold, like you said. That's a new one on the list.
Yeah.
They're starting to work in that northwest quadrant, and we're going to start seeing. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel. These guys are now ramping it up, and they're cranking out whatever they can to get this game going. And we're watching it day by day, just seeing all this stuff. Seeing the refits, the retrofits, of course, adding the belly dance. That's going to be fun. But Brittany's been a hot topic on everybody's mind. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's been speculating. Going to be interesting to see. We know that a lot of player-owned towns have already been populated around that area. What's going to be really interesting to see is whether it actually becomes one of the real central hubs of the game at this stage of the game. So that's going to be quite the interesting thing to look at there. Crafty Methods over there taking a nap on our chests. Now that was something, where did we see that? The bed animations. That came up in conversation as well. Somebody was working on the sleeping animations.
Yeah.
Did we touch on that?
I assume double-clicking a bed is going to work soon.
Yeah, double clicking a bed that was on Monday, where it was the getting in bed, sitting in bed, and laying down in bed. So you'll have the option of either sitting on the bed or on the laying down in bed.
Which is always a nice option. But moving right along. Another topic we had for today, and this was something I picked up out of the NBNN Daily Britannian. The Collectors Club post. You want to sit down? You want to talk about this for a few minutes here, Jack? For those guys who didn't catch it out there, or
I'm sorry, I got distracted by an email.
yeah, not a problem. I'm looking for the right place to insert this here. There we go.
Yeah, really got distracted.
For those in the room who want to know what we're talking about here, is somebody came up with the suggestion for a Collectors Club. Basically a subscription entity for the game. And I was looking at it, and that, piqued my curiosity, as it may be, because one of the reasons why we like to tout this game, one of the reasons why we love the model of this game, is that it is not a subscription game. Now, I'm a little disturbed by the thinking, and if you go ahead and read this post here, I'll bring this up on screen. The idea is to have something that's a monthly fee where people will subscribe to this platform, and in return there would be some monthly collectibles, some monthly loot. It's been compared to like Loot Crate or other things like that.
That is also one of the plans that, or one of the things that Star Citizen is currently doing. And if we talk about like the rares market, and which is essentially what this Collectors Club really is. It is more in-game rares, and it's continuation of funding, because I disagree with you on the viability of the Collectors Club, but I'll let you speak first.
Well, of course, we're not going to read the whole article, everybody. We're just going to put the link out like we just did for folks to take a look at and read for themselves, if they so wish. But what they go in to say, and there's valid arguments on both sides that, some people miss the subscription method of things in games. Other people dislike the microtransactions. Now, I'm on the side of the microtransaction. The way that we've been doing things as it is, with the add-on store, and having the option to buy or not buy, per se. The idea behind a subscription is if I subscribe, I've got to opt in every month. And maybe this month I don't like what you're offering, but I still got to pay for it. I don't like that. I like the microtransaction where it's, hey, this is available. You want it? Buy it. It's going away soon. You don't buy it, you're out. It's a rare. But don't force people to buy into a subscription.
See, that's where you're creating like a false analogy, because if it's like only on the add-on store and they leave it up there indefinitely and they never expire it, which is what they've done with most of the items on the add-on store, then it's not a rare. And so unless you have a desire for something, you never collect it. If you look at
Well,
if
again,
we
but I
use, for
don't
example,
like the
the
subscription. Like I said, they likened it to what the heck was it? Loot Crate. Loot Crate used to be a
yeah.
subscription, but they've now changed that method where you don't have to subscribe and get it monthly. You can pick and choose month by month. And if they're going to do something like that, that should be the option. I shouldn't be subscribed to get something that I may not want. I should have the option to opt in and buy via microtransaction. This month we're going to have this, and it's going to go away, just like our seasonal things. But I just disagree with having to pay.
Think of the stretch goals. Think of the stretch goals. People say that they really want riding horses in game.
Yes.
That was one of the stretch goals. They just needed to raise $200,000 in order to incorporate that technology. And unfortunately, they took down these stretch goals from the store, so you can't see what amount was raised by each of them, because they did expire those. But that riding of a horse only acquired $20,000 plus or minus $50,000.
We got barely 10% of what it was needed. I mean, if that.
And so those items actually become rares, because you know what?
They're never
not everybody in game is ever going to be able to get a white foal.
The idea was you didn't have to subscribe to the stretch goal. If you didn't want it, you didn't buy it. And there are some who did, some who didn't.
When you're comparing it to Loot Crate isn't really a good idea.
I said
you would really have
was
to compare
compared to Loot Crate. In this.
I know, but
it's one of the comparisons.
Overall, though, I don't think it's going to happen, at least not anytime soon, due to the fact that they've kind of tried to shift away from adding items to the add-on store so that they can completely support the development.
Now the other idea that came up was a yearly fee. Hey, $10 a month, okay. 12 months, $120. You pay a one-time fee, and every month, once a month, you get this little, surprise for buying in. A lot of people seem to be hip to that idea, and even I can wrap my head around that. Okay, one-time fee, and boom. I just don't like the month by month. I just don't like it. That's just me. Again, there are several things that we've had come and go in the add-on store. There are one or two things that I missed because of my inaction, and I kick myself in the ass for that. I'll admit that. Other things I missed because I just wasn't here at the time. But the idea that I missed it because I didn't subscribe, and somebody else did, I just don't like that. It's we've gone, on the straight and narrow down a path here, and they've got a vision, they've got a goal. They're generating with the money they need, it seems so far. I don't see straying from this path to start some kind of special subscription to make a more elitist group, in my opinion. Keep it in a microtransaction if you want to do something like that, where you can opt in, opt out, buy and not buy, but don't force people to drop money. As Casey put in here, he was barely able to afford shipping to ship a shot glass to Amber Rain, just for something he's doing. Yeah. $10 a month for somebody like Casey. That's a hard hit, especially when he can be using that someplace else. Maybe he doesn't want this month.
It's completely optional. It's not required.
But again, it's either in or out. There is no mid ground. If I want this month's, either I got to opt in for the whole kit and caboodle, or I don't get it at all. Don't like it. That's just my 2 cents on that.
Hey, I'm a fan of rares, and as long as
absolutely,
something is,
so am I.
And this is one way to get tons and tons of in-game rares.
Again, I'm all for the rares. I got no argument with that. I just don't see the subscription as being the route to go. What did Lucas say here? She'd buy less pixel crack if she was paying $20 a month. That's right. Yeah. He's talking about buying the cane. That cane, when that came out, I had to jump on that. Don't want to see that disappear. There's one or two things out there that disappeared that, I'm annoyed that I didn't buy them. That black and white spotted rabbit, man, $5. I should have bought like 20 of them.
Yeah. But I mean, it's if you think about like that monthly subscription, that really does create a real rares market, and the game is really going to sink or swim based off of the rares market.
Well, as I will tend to agree with that, and I believe that that's been covered. And these guys are crazy like a fox out there. You'll be surprised, and again, it doesn't surprise me when I see what they do next. I think we got some more big surprises coming down the pipe, and I think they've got the plan laid out, and they're on the straight and narrow to get it executed the best possible way. Again, the way I've been seeing it, every time I look at something they announce and I go, man, these guys are thinking 20 steps in advance. They're not thinking 3 or 4 moves in advance. They're thinking 20 steps ahead. And this goes back to the map. When we did that first interview with Richard, I had to die laughing about the map when he had a little diagram of it sitting there and how they plan to do it. And one of the reasons behind the way they do things is so they can print a square map. We had this conversation with Rustic the other day about the Hobloth maps, and of course he is quite the authority on the cloth maps from all of the Ultima iterations and lifelong collections, and it's all about the square map. God love them, because the rest of us are thinking about getting the content in there. These guys are thinking long term. When we finish this all, how do we get this printed map into people's hands? Something that they thought about way ahead of everything else. Love it. But anyway, you can say shut up, Laz. You're rambling anytime you do.
It's okay. It's okay. You need another soapbox.
Yeah, well, until we get finished with the ones that I want fixed, I still have my three major soapboxes. Going to soapboxes. I've had somebody come in. I had a couple people over the last week or so come in and ask, are they going to clean up combat? Is combat going to get better? And I'm at a loss to answer these people anymore.
Just tell them no, development has stopped.
Yeah,
we're going live.
I don't want to tell them that, but what I do tell them.
We're going live tomorrow.
Yeah, what I do tell everybody is that combat is still under constant development and is in a state of flux up until and even past the time we go to launch. I believe it's something that they're going to keep tweaking, keep working on, and try and get it the best they can. But
yeah. See, that's where we need combat scrum updates on changes and discussions about how they would like things to change.
Yes, well, you have to get some deep poo in order to get those answers, trolling through the forums, and it's just.
Well, but the combat scrum is a very small group of people and from them where they're trying to take, because this is really a conversation with Chris Spears, where he anticipates combat going, how he's changing things, and what things are going to look like. And I would like to see I would like to see more variety with combat and the skill trees, because I would like to see a difference between slashing and piercing weapons.
Absolutely. Now, of course, Ewok's chiming in. He wants ranged weapons. Wants to be ranged weapons again. Some people are for, some people are against. I tend to agree on that one. Wand should be a ranged weapon, and I believe the staff should be a melee weapon. The staff is longer reach. It's a bashing weapon. If you're using a little wand, I don't know anybody who's going to run into combat with a wand in their hand and try and bash somebody in the skull with it. I'm sorry,
Well, if the wand can be used to distract someone else from casting, then it gives wand users an unfair advantage. Even if they're very low damage. Well,
it's just summon and conjure, And again, low damage. It just uses a distraction. somebody throwing a little fireball that just does 1 damage as a distraction has done its job. If you're trying to distract somebody from casting something more fierce upon yourself, that just makes sense.
But the way the old one was, I mean, it was firing relatively rapidly as far as what was going on there.
Yeah, and I could see tweaks and changes. I just don't see it as a bashing weapon as it may be. I have on me right now is my scepter, which is an unusual one, and we've joked about that. The scepter is a bludgeon weapon, even though it's just really pretty much a prop and a tool. I don't plan to be out there bashing things for 1 to 3 damage with the scepter in my hand. Not the way I plan to do fighting.
Well, if we had some rats in game, then you could go into the sewers and use that to work your bludgeoning skill.
To crush rats. That's been another call.
That's right.
People have been saying that to have a proper underground, we need rats. And rat men throughout the lands. The rat man was a classic UO NPC bad guy. And,
I don't know if they need the rat man, but definitely they need rats.
Definitely need rats. Yes, as I agree with that there. Rats in the sewers.
And bestiary. Bestiary's always been one of my soapboxes. So
yes, and we hit on that. I saw a picture out there. Scrolling through the forums, somebody standing. It was in the screenshot gallery, is where it was. Somebody standing next to their little, next to their horse, going, "Someday you'll grow up and I'll be able to ride you," was the caption. And we're looking at stuff even deeper than that. Basements with rats. I like that. We're looking at actual livestock where you can actually breed and farm. This is the bestiary we're looking at, not just having a rideable mounts and all sorts of great pets. I mean, we want to be able to breed chickens and cows and pigs and be able to harvest and, use the animals in this way. I mean, and it's just, I think, a natural progression of everything else we're seeing here. The harvesting system is getting some love, as we can see. One of the things that actually was in the stand-up corner, and while we went over it, we didn't pay enough attention to it. I want to double back on that one real quick. Where the heck was it?
Boning sheep.
No. Yeah, boning sheep. I joke about that one in the real world. I says, man, these guys went ahead and put this in, and we've been bashing on that ever since. Where was it?
I messed with him when I went to the office shortly after. I asked.
I think Matt put that on there intentionally.
Yeah, see, sometimes I think they throw in little giggles and grins because they know we read this out loud. I'm looking for the one little tidbit that I saw there. And for the life of me, it's not popping up here real quick. And I will find it. As soon as I hit on it, I will... Oh, there it is. Zach Shefford. Zach is working on, when we hit Crafting Bugs recipe book and batch crafting. We just ran over that. Something that's been asked for by a lot of people.
Which day?
That was on Wednesday in the tech session. One little blurb, and we miss it. Yeah, but I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
I reminded myself to remind myself. But batch crafting is something that Zach was working on Wednesday, and I know there are tons and tons of people out there who are going to be excited to hear this news, that we will have batch crafting available. So that you don't have to go one after the other after the other. Now, another point somebody brought up to me.
I don't know if I like that. Because if you remember, like, the what happened to crafting in UO after the crafting deeds, the bulk crafting deeds?
Yeah, well, that was later on. That was after the Second Age, and that's where everything started going downhill in most people's books.
Yeah, but if you think about batch crafting. That is exactly the same process. And that is part of the downfall of the ability to be a crafter. Because crafting is supposed to be a labor-intensive endeavor.
Well, and I agree.
So it's supposed to take a lot of time.
Now, somebody brought up a point the other day, and I had to bring this up because we're fresh on the topic, about the fact that we have to go out and actually do some gathering in order to get experience to craft. And there's a big complaint out there about that why should I have to go out and do that if I can buy the resources? Say I just wanted to be a PvE player. I don't want to go out into harvesting, but I want to be able to craft. I'm forced to go out and do the harvesting grind in order to get experience so that I can get crafting experience. And there's a controversial topic on that because there's no other way to gain that production experience except by going out and doing the harvesting yourself. And somebody's crying foul about that out there.
Okay, so what they should do is change the way that XP is done. So if you bring up your skills list real quick, and we'll look at the 3 types. And I have a proposal. I have not drafted this as a document anywhere, but I think you might like this. So the gathering of skills will acquire XP. Then the refining will use XP, and production will gain XP.
Well, again, the argument is the system's flawed because if I just want to be a crafter, I have to go and gather.
If you listen to producing means that you are gaining XP. So if you're producing items, you are gaining XP. The only time that you're losing XP in this system would be whenever you're smelting items. Or milling stuff, or tanning, or textiles. So it's all the very, very low-level stuff. That's where you lose XP out of your pool.
Right.
But if you're producing items, you are gaining them.
And, sounds good. But, as it sits right now.
But it's much better than the current system where the refining and the production both lose XP, and there's no way to gain it.
I think it needs a little bit of a work. After hearing the argument for this, I really got to thinking. I'm going, you're absolutely right. You actually have to go do some gathering in order to get this experience now. I mean, if I was out there killing skeletons and I got a lot of gold and I want to come back and buy a whole bunch of cotton, or I want to buy a bunch of iron ore from somebody so that I can craft, I can't do that right now because I still have to go out and do the gathering thing. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed down the line here, in my opinion. Whether that gets addressed or not, whether there's enough cry from the public out there on this one, that's yet to be seen. But I just had to bring that up as something that somebody had mentioned to me, and I says, you know what, I'm going to bring that up and just throw it out there for the folks just to see what we get on feedback, because I'm curious. As always, one of the things we do around here is we do bring up some topics that we hear about so that we can get some dialogue going amongst the folks, amongst ourselves and people who watch, and get that feedback to see what's going on and gauge what the audience feels on these topics. But of course, we cover all sorts of the wild and wacky from top to bottom here. And, speaking of wild and wacky, I'm going to just derail the train here. Did you see the post I gave you from the guys over at Diamond Fields?
Yes, and if you notice, I reposted that earlier.
I did not see that as a repost, but for those of you out there, somebody has found yet another use for a gust ball, and it's going to be a putt-putt golf tournament. And I love that.
I think this is actually really cool. So this is started by Lace and the people out at Diamond Fields. Let's see. So, yeah, go ahead and keep going.
Yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and put this out there in the chat for everybody just real quick and bring it up on screen. But yeah, they came up with a way where they set up little courses here, and you can see the pictures. Set up little putt-putt course. I love it. And you use gusts to blow it around, and they've got a rule set where X amount of gusts is minus so many strokes, and they're going to put on a putt-putt golf tournament out there here in March 19th. So we'll keep an eye on that as we draw closer to that. That's going to be... I
don't know if you actually paid attention to the rug. So anywhere on the rug ends the hole. But if you land inside the white circle, then it removes 3 strokes. And if you land inside the very center, it becomes an automatic hole-in-one, which is really cool.
Yes. Like I said, there's a whole rule set out here, and I just was digging that as I was out there checking up on little things. The creativity of our player base is just enormous. I mean, these guys come up with the greatest stuff. But it is Friday.
And don't forget the crapper. There is going to be a crapper hole. So the crapper run hole will be there.
But we do have...
So I wonder how they're going to simulate that one.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out, because I think I'm going to have to go out and attend this one. But it is Friday. We have the weekend update here. So we do have the weekend's calendar of events for you folks out there. Jack, you want to bring that up for the good folks, and let's get this out of the way for everybody?
Why would I want to look at the calendar?
Oh, I don't know. Because it's Friday and we do it every
and thank
Friday.
You, Fighter. Okay. So don't forget, the calendar is provided by Avatar Circle. You can access it on either Avatar Circle's website, or you can go to nbnn.info and click on the calendar button at the top. Since this is the weekend update, I am going to go ahead and uncheck the Ethervision Alliance. And you can do that in the top right-hand corner of the calendar, and just use that down arrow and then select what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So from there, today is Friday, March 11th. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we have some variety for you. If you are interested in some PvE, you can join Kazan Phoenix Fire or Malakis for a dungeon runs, control points, and wilderness areas. So they'll go out exploring somewhere. We just don't know where yet. Contact Kazan Phoenix Fire or Malakis in-game. If you're interested in PvP, the Vengeance Madness, which is an open PvP out in the city of Vengeance. It lasts between 7 and 8 New Britannia time, which is Central Standard Time in the real world. Just show up to the town of Vengeance and start slaying people, and eventually, at the end of an hour, a winner will be declared. Kill everyone. Kill them all.
Kill them all. Kill them all.
Yeah. If you really don't feel like either killing anything and you'd rather sit around and stare at the stars, you can join Bowen Bloodgood and Kier Drakwich for Friday Night Astronomy at 7:30 tonight. And Bowen Bloodgood has put out some excellent resources as far as the constellations and when celestial alignments actually occur in Shroud of the Avatar.
Yes, there's some new updates in Astronomy 401 for anybody who's following that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not up to 1,001. So Saturday, we have Paxlayer working hours. That's going to be with Sean Silverfoot or Winfield. If you are interested in the Paxlayer community or any one of their towns, go talk to Winfield and Sean Silverfoot about that. If you're interested in going to a church service on Saturday, you can always join Amber Rain and Kazan Phoenix Fire for the Church of the Dark Star out in Port Phoenix. Let's see. So, sorry. The church is in Paxlayer, not Port Phoenix. Sorry. Yeah, Paxlayer. Sorry, I messed that one up. Then at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, we have the Barron League Construction, Harvest, and Craft, which is going to be held out in Barron's Reach. You can join the Bear Tavern guys in High Rock, or you can always friend Bowen Bloodgood and teleport to him, and that'll put you to the entrance and just go find them. And you can learn all about crafting and harvesting and buy and sell some stuff. Then at 6 o'clock, we have the Port Phoenix Social Nights, and then you can go play around with K's and Phoenix Fire as they decide to go out and do something, whether it be dancing, gusball, singing songs, playing music, or hunting, or PvP. They will choose something, and y'all can have fun. And then at 8 o'clock on Saturday is the Serenite Auction. And Serenite is next to the town of Vengeance, east of Grenvald, Shardfall, and Despolis, for a monthly auction for all the best wares. So go join this auction, and you can actually turn around and win some stuff. Just pay some gold. Then on Sunday, we have the end of the week.
Sunday.
At the
Fairpark Coliseum.
We have the early morning Pax Layer meeting for those that are interested in Pax Layer and the Pax Layer community. Remember, this is the early morning meeting, so it lasts between 8:30 and 9:30. It will be held in TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak information is on this thread. Then at 2:30 is Gusball training out with Seamus McGinnis of EVL, and that's going to be happening 30 minutes before the Gusball matches. The location changes from week to week, so please contact Sand or Seamus McGinnis in order to find out where Gusball is going to be at, and that's going to last between 3 and 5. A special event is going to start at 5 o'clock, which is the EVL Guild is holding their St. Patrick's Day party. And so this pre-party is going to be in the city of Owl's Head. Dress in your greenest gear and join us for dancing and drinking aplenty. And they have a hidden pot of gold in a secret location in Owl's Head. They will give out clues to all attendees, and the lucky avatar finds the pot of gold will get 100,000 gold. Yay! If attending a party is not your thing and you'd rather watch people bash each other, you have the BMC Gridiron registration between 5 and 5:30. And at 5:30 the Gladiators Gridiron begins. Remember, it is a no-holds-barred PvP event. And then following that is the Pax Layer weekly meeting. This is their normal meeting. This does happen in the middle of Pax Layer somewhere. And then from there, just contact or friend Winfield and then zone to him, and they'll take you to the entrance of town and you can run to him. And the final event is everybody's favorite, most entertaining event of the week, which is Fishing with Winfield, where no longer do you actually have to role play fishing, you can actually fish.
Oh, do you remember those days? I tell you. We used to have to role play fishing before we had fishing poles and worms and actual animations. Good old days. It's a far cry from the chicken room, that's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
And that's the calendar for the weekend coming up here in Shroud of the Avatar. And that's about gonna wrap it up for our time today here on the show, folks. Of course, all sorts of great stuff coming out. We're going to be looking forward to tonight's newsletter as it starts to pour on us here. Let's go ahead and roll the sponsors real quick. We'll go ahead and say thanks to all our friends and sponsors out there. Of course, we always like to start with Ben over at Relics by Rill. If you use the promo code NBNN at relicsbyrill.com, you get 10% off your Shroud of the Avatar swag from Relics by Rill. Go out to Shroud Marketplace. Check out our friends at shroudmarketplace.com. We got all sorts of good stuff out there. How's any news from Shroud Marketplace out there, Jack? As of late, I know we've been gone for a day.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't received any emails or anything about it, so I'd say business as usual. Remember, if you want to set up a store and set up shop, you can always go to shroudmarketplace.com and then turn around and just click on the vendor registration to get registered. If you're already registered with an account, it's relatively quick and easy, and From there, you can choose which kind of plan that you want and how many products that you can actually list on the marketplace. So you'll find that should be relatively easy and relatively fulfilling as long as people
play nice,
work with everything. Yeah, play nice.
Of course, we got our friends over at sodataming.com, friends over at sodacraft.com. Remember, these guys did all the work out there, so you don't have to. So if you got any information you want to find out about those kind of things, go check them out. Of course, you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Google+. You can follow us just about everywhere. Of course, we are streaming live on NBNN.info, on YouTube, and on Twitch TV. 24 hours a day, round the clock. You can catch past broadcasts from the past week. And, of course, we're going to roll out of here and get ready to enjoy the weekend ourselves. We're running a little late, so we're going to go ahead and say thank you to everybody out there for listening. Thanks to everybody for watching, as we do appreciate you all. Jack, you want to go ahead and take us out?
Yes, once again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Phaedra. Thank you, everybody, for watching, paying attention, joining us in Mumble, which means thank you, Luca. We really do this for everybody in the community. Please, if you have questions, comments, concerns, please talk to us. Ewok, that means use your microphone.
That's right. Alrighty, folks,
Yes.
That's going to wrap it up for today. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And this was Casey Cupcakes.
And we are NBNN. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, entertainment, interviews, crazy wild happenings, and any other updates we can bring you here in Shroud and Avatar. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. We'll be back Monday with more for you here on NBNN. Man, I love this shit. I tell you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Buy a Kush lady.
Yay.
Yay, Friday. Yep.
I love sheep boning.
Casey loves his sheep.
I got some nut butter today. From your cornucopia.
I got an apple. And some garlic cheese bread.
Garlic cheese bread.